The member for Toronto Danforth.
Thank you, Speaker. It's a pleasure to be able to rise and address this motion this morning. My thanks to the member from Markham Thornhill for bringing it forward. I have to ask, however, Speaker, why? Why? We're in a situation of this great province, somewhat like a great ship on the ocean, where we have a captain who, instead of acting like the captain of the Titanic who tried to avoid the iceberg, is ramming the iceberg. While at the same time, this member is making paper boats to put out on the water. I mean, I like paper boats, but in terms of the impact on the people of this province, their future, their lives, it's the actions of this government, it's war on the environment, that are going to make the biggest difference, and this motion will not make that difference. What are the lessons that young people will learn from the actions of this government? Not from this motion, from the actions of this government. We have a government that has demolished action on climate. It has a plan, so-called, that it is ignoring. I hear about this environment plan that's been put forward by the government, but its own agencies turn their backs on it. They are not implementing it. That is the reality. What is the lesson young people should take from that? What is the lesson they should take from that? We have had this government in its first few months cancel a renewable energy project, a wind farm, one that was almost completed in its construction that had to be demolished, and then again tried to stop another wind farm producing clean energy, helping make conservation happen. They were happily unsuccessful in that. If we're going to have clean air, we need to have a conversion away from gas-burning cars to electric vehicles. What has this government done about that issue? It cancelled subsidies, it ripped out charging points at GO stations, it changed the building code so that new homes don't have to have charging stations incorporated in them. That was the cheapest point for doing that. If you want to have clean air, you have to change the system of transportation. This government has undermined the crucial steps necessary to have that happen. And then it didn't stop there. Conservation authorities. We saw the assault on conservation authorities last year. If those conservation authorities set up to protect people from being swept away by floodwaters in the night, which is what we saw with Hurricane Hazel, if they don't have the power and authority to protect people from floods, they don't have the power and authority to protect those natural areas, well, what is the meaning of conservation when it comes to this government? What is the lesson that young people need to take from all of this? Speaker, we are in a situation where feel-good motions are not going to make up for this government's constant, unremitting attacks on the environment of this province and the people of this province. In the end, the lesson that young people will take, not from this motion, but from the actions of this government, are very simple. If they do not mobilize in their thousands and fill the streets demanding climate action, they will be left to a very bitter future. If they don't act to throw this government out in the next election, their fate is very, very troubled.